Hello and welcome to another Miss Alley Cat DIY video. Today I am so excited to show you how I made this neutral St. Patrick's Day wall decor. So if you're interested and you'd like to see how I made it, stay tuned. So the first thing you need is a blank piece of wood. This is just what I have on hand. I got it in a micro. They were $4 grab bags at the time, and it is intended to be like a toy that you can fit those blocks on the other side to make that tree, but I'm just using it because it's the right shape, it's the right piece of wood. You could use like a cutting board from Dollar Tree. They have those wood ones that are like more of a rectangle that would do the same thing.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these piece of wood white with this acrylic paint. It's just white acrylic paint. Here is the brand I have. It's just what I have on hand. I'm going to do a coat of this on this whole entire piece of wood. I am doing a fairly thick coat on this piece of wood. And I do want to get the edges here because you will see that.
So I just painted the whole entire piece of wood, including the edges, and I did about 3 coats, and I let each layer dry before going on to the next coat.
So now that I've painted it, I'm going to go ahead and take some sandpaper and just start sanding it down to kind of create an old look.
So I just did this until I got the vintage look that I was going for. No set amount of how much you need to sandpaper it down, just do it until you like how it looks. And I also made sure to kind of get the edges as well.
Go ahead and paint this clover. I mixed this white, this is green. I mixed this green, lime green acrylic paint with the white paint to kind of get a mint color, just because I think it'll look good in my kitchen. You could choose to do some other form of green or a completely different color if you would like. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint this, and I am painting it on the side that has the glitter just for some added texture. And go ahead and ignore this color just because I was experimenting with mixing the green and some chalk paint together and it didn't work out, so just pretend like that's not there. So now that I've put a coat on this clover, I'm going to go ahead and let it dry. Once it dries, I am going to go back in with some more of that. I have this twine that I believe I got from the Dollar Tree, and my hot glue gun has been heating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I want this in the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let me zoom you out just a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to hot glue down this 3-leaf clover? Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to hot glue down this. I'm just taking a very small amount of hot glue and trying to work fairly fast. Putting it down there and then applying the twine.
So then I just took that twine and I'm just gluing it down all the way around all of the curves of the clover. You do kind of want to work quickly in terms of the glue does dry really fast. However, on the same token, get it, if you will, I did take my time with it. So with that being said, I went all the way around doing this method.
So I've gone around it once, and I'm just going to take my scissors here. It has some wild hairs, and I'm just going to trim the ones that I don't like. I'm not like completely going around it, but there are definitely a couple that are, well, they've got a mind of their own, so we're just, gonna trim them up. I may go back in and do more later. Let's do a couple more. trim them up. Alright, and now I am going to go around again for a second time with my twine. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. I'm coming to the end of this little guy, and I'm just gonna do the same thing and press it down just like we've been doing. And I'm gonna take my scissors and try and get as close to that as I can. Did not want to snip it off for a second, but anyway, there we go. I've got some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just simply gonna go around the whole entire thing with this nautical rope, and I'm just gonna go ahead and glue it down.
Now this is basically the same technique. We're just hot gluing down this thicker rope to the edge of our decor piece, going around all of the corners and making sure to have them nice and rounded, and just hot gluing it down.
Before I glue down the rest of it, I'm actually going to I pulled this one up because I probably should not have started at the corner here. Accidentally I did, but I want to be able to have a rounded corner on all 4 corners. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim off about half an inch to an inch of this nautical rope. Now that I've reached the end, I am going to cut this so that I can glue it all down. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take my scissors and right where the other one meets the rope, I'm going to go ahead.
And after I cut that, as you might expect, I cleaned it off just because there were some little particles from the rope. Then I'm just hot gluing it down just like we did before, and putting down the rope so that the ends meet and the corner is curved. I did kind of have to go back in and put glue in it a couple of times just until the rope was secure, and I held it down until it dried, and that's all for this step. Let's move on to the next one. You could be done with this project right here now, but I wanted to make it so that it would hang on my wall. And to do that, I'm going to take 2 little blocks of wood. This came with this piece of wood. Like I said in the beginning, this was intended to be a toy that you could like fit these pieces in there to make the shape of that tree. However, as you can see, we've done something completely different. I am going to go ahead and use those blocks in this next step. I've also got some twine I'm going to bring out real soon. There it is. And I'm just eyeballing how much twine I want for our decor piece. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off right there. Now, taking my hot glue gun, I am going to take a good sized amount of hot glue in the corner of the project, then take the twine and put it in the glue, and then put the block over top of that, squishing it until it's all dry. I did the exact same thing on the other side of this project. And then on the other 2 corners of our project, so that the whole thing hangs correctly, I did the exact same thing, except I didn't put any twine on the other side, obviously. And you could use any scrap pieces of wood that you have. You don't have to have ones that look like mine. Just make sure they're the same thickness on all 4 corners. So there you have it. We've completed our St. Patrick's Day decor piece. I'm really happy with it. I love how neutral it is, and it really looks pretty next to my plants in my kitchen. I hope you enjoyed this DIY, and if you did, please feel free to pounce on that like button and hit subscribe. And if you would like to see more DIYs like this from me, and hauls and plan with me's and all kinds of stuff, please feel free to click on that notification bell to be notified the very next time I upload a new video. With that being said, this is Miss Alley Cat DIY signing off. Until next time, bye-bye!